Hi, I'm Rosa Francesca. I'm from Leamington Spa and I'm a digital artist. I've always been a very creative person. I've been playing music from a very young age and gigging for about 15 years now. I started making art about 2 years ago after going to a workshop in Birmingham run by Black Hole Club about neurodivergence and digital art. And someone was using brain monitors with VR and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And I went out and bought a brain monitor and started making art with it literally the next week. And since then, it's just kind of snowballed from there. My favorite projects that I've worked on, I recently made a video game called Gallery of You as part of the BBC New Creatives Talent Development Programme. And it used facial recognition to unlock clues and stuff. So that came out in August and that was really exciting because it was on like iOS and Android in the App Store, so that was really cool. And my other favourite is a project called Cinematica, which is an ongoing project where I'm using a drawing plotter, like bot kind of thing, linked up with a brain monitor so that people can draw things without actually using their hands. It's sending their brain waves to determine where the pen moves to on the paper to create actual physical pieces of art. My usual process of making art, when it's installations and performance work, I tend to work on a Max MSP patch, so do the programming side of things from home. And then I'm a member of Black Hole Club, which is an artist development program. And we have access to that space, so sometimes I go there to Vivid Projects in Birmingham to test out work and see how it kind of fits in with the space, even if I'm not exhibiting it there. And that's a really useful thing. And then I kind of go back and forth for a while I'm figuring it out. In terms of my visual art, I use a program called Daz 3D to sort of pose models and kind of like chop them up like figures and stuff like that, looking at interesting ways of using the body, and I render it in there. My usual themes for my art are accessibility and the body. So a lot of my motivation with my performances, my installations, is finding different ways of creating for people with different abilities and in particular people with limited motor skills, which is why I use a lot of facial recognition and brain monitors, because it means that people can create art with very little use of their hands and very little movement. I'm really inspired by an artist called Jessica Ballantyne, who does a lot of stuff with the body and like looking at femininity and stuff, and a lot of my visual art really has become inspired by her. In terms of digital art, one of my big inspirations is Antonio Roberts, who does a lot of really cool stuff with like glitch art, and I think he's a really cool figure as like a person of colour in the Birmingham art scene. I am very inspired by my own experiences and other people's experiences with Tourette syndrome, like looking at the body, and in particular, my project Cinematica was inspired by hearing about someone whose Tourette's made him struggle with drawing and creating art with his hands. And I really wanted to find kind of a solution to this. And a lot of the technology I'm working with at the moment is also finding ways to help myself with art creation. Leamington, I feel like it doesn't have a great contemporary art scene, which I'm hoping will change soon, but it does have a really amazing game development scene, referred to as Silicon Spa. And for my project Gallery of You, I was able to work with Fish in a Bottle in Leamington, and it was really interesting to be able to work with the gaming community, which I haven't done before. So it's nice to be a part of that. I think one of the things that I'd really recommend at the moment, since people aren't able to get out and go to workshops as much, is to stay active on Twitter and Instagram and network that way, because that's a really interesting way to meet people and form connections. I also think it's important as an artist and as a young artist not to compare yourself to other artists as much, because everyone develops in different ways. And especially in terms of things like art school and arts degrees, a lot of people will kind of be discouraged from that because not everyone's that kind of academic type. Yeah, I think people should know that there are always alternative routes to academia. People can find me online on Instagram, where I post a lot of my visual art. My handle is rosafrancesca.art. And on Twitter, where I post a lot of works in progress and information on my exhibitions coming up, I'm Rosa Franks Art.